The thing that frustrates me about the podcast, though, and all those copycat podcasts, is when the successful people go on there and talk about their journey, they always skip over the key ingredients to their success. Because we know there's 3 ingredients to success. There's hard work, talent, and luck, isn't it? And it's a bit of right time, right place, isn't it? Or right school, right uncle. And they always skip over it. I wouldn't mind if they just acknowledged the luck, but they always minimize the luck as if it wasn't crucial. You know, there'd be a guy on the podcast like, what I'm trying to do, I've actually recently launched a vegan chocolate bar range, and it is doing very well, Stephen. But actually very humble beginnings. I was actually on my gap year in Ghana at a cacao plantation, and no, wonderful people, humble people. And I actually couldn't understand what they were saying, but I took some of the cacao home with me to my house in Putney. And I was actually one afternoon, I was feeling a bit mischievous, a bit playful. I think that's the key to my success, just being a bit mischievous, a bit playful. I was mixing the cacao with some pine nuts. No, I didn't know what I was doing, just mixing the pine nuts. And my girlfriend came home, she tried the mixture. She's called Boffy. Boffy tried the mixture. She's like, Hugo, this is quite tasty. And I was like, Boffy, you say silly things. And it's just silly. She's always saying silly things. And then I'm mixing the pine nuts with the cacao. Anyway, my dad popped over to the flat. And the thing about my dad is he owns Cadbury. There, that was the key, wasn't it? That was the key to success. You're the heir to Cadbury. That's the story.